Yeah. So actually, the first part is connected to international communication, as I said. I have like very simple question to all of you. How do you understand the word communication in the business? So what's the difference between just communication between friends and communication in the business? Of course, like the answer, like communication in the business, this is communication between employees and other employees or employees and employer, it does not work. So what can be the difference in what they're saying, what they're discussing, what type of conversation they are usually have, and so on. So on. Oh, I see Anna raised the hand. Anna, please, you're the first.
Mhm. Good morning, and I would like to tell that communication between like business people is like more strict than with friends, because with friends you can like talk about everything you want, and with your like employer, you should talk like on some work aspects, and you shouldn't like include some like funny jokes if you aren't friends with the boss or something like that.
So can we say that like the difference in formality? Yeah. So
Yeah.
one type is informal and the second one is formal, right?
Yeah.
Okay, this is one of the points. I will come back to that later after all of your answers. So thank you, Anna. Nikita, you were the second, so please.
Good morning. I think that goals may change it because in more business negotiation, we have strict goals, what we have from our opponent and what we should do for this. And our informal negotiation, our goals is just to maybe relax, to understand your friend and try to discover something new about your opponent.
Okay, so let's summarize it in one
Goal,
very informative phrase, like difference between goals of this
yes.
communication. 100%. Okay, the point number two, pretty clear. Thank you. Desire, you were this the third, please.
Just like Nikita, but you already said what I wanted to say, but I think with friends is general, and then in the office place is a particular topic like on goals, so it's like establish the set goals for the company. So yeah, it's the same thing I wanted to say.
Yeah, good that you share the same opinions. Perfect. Thank you very much. And Arina, you were the fourth person, please.
So it's pretty obvious that connection between your friends is just you're doing it for fun, but connection between business people is for something that you want to achieve something. So it's like different levels of communication. There are some things that you will not say to your business partner. So yeah, I agree with Guy that said about it. So I just wanted to also say it.
Okay, so it's still more connected to the goals. Okay, super.
Yeah.
Yep, Sophia, please.
Hi, everyone. I think one of the main differences is that the scope. In business communication, we have some formal scopes, and you may be friends with the boss and may joke, but still you all need all the time to think what you're talking about and how to say it. With friends, yes, you can be relaxed, but still sometimes you need to respect and remember the things which may be um, раздражать,
Irritate.
irritate your friend, but still you are more free and like bigger scopes with your friend.
Okay, yeah, I can agree with that. So we can like clarify like the three main points. So formality, it will be the first one. The second one will be the difference between goals. The third one will be like this distance, like the scope within like the people who participating in the conversation. Because yeah, of course, like the distance between you and the person you're talking to when you're talking to a friend, this is way closer. So I mean, there's almost no limits in what you can say in this case, especially when we are talking about close friends. Of course, even if you're a good friend with your boss, we always should remember that the boss always can, even if it's your friend, he or she can always like change the attitude, how he or she speaks to you. So and become like very bossy, you know, and 100% it can affect your like future life at the working place, because today you're a friend with him or her, tomorrow you're not. So this is pretty common situation. Yeah, I see that Anna raised hand. Hello.
Yes, hello. I want to say that often in business negotiation, we definitely need to come to some kind of agreement or compromise, and it is impossible to put it off until later.
Yeah, because when you have friends, you can just like argue for some time, do not speak for a while. Yeah, just stop talking to the person. At work, this is impossible. So even when we talk about not negotiations, but just simple communication at that working place. So if you have bad relationship with some of your colleagues, so you cannot just say like, you irritate me and I don't want to talk to you. So still, because of the working responsibilities, you just cannot do that. And this is really big problem that sometimes leads the people to go to psychologists, especially, as you know, like there is a very big branch of psychology that's connected to office psychology. Yeah, when people are discussing the problems at work. So, and in most cases, it's connected, of course, to this undesired communication with the people. Some people do like or do not like. In most cases, of course, problems occur when we talk about people that others do not like. Yeah, I see that Nikita raised hand. Sorry, can you mute the microphone? Oh, super, thank you. Nikita, yeah, you raised the hand, please.
Yes. Second point is that level of expectation is absolutely different. In our informal talking, we expect almost nothing from our opponent, from our friend, from our mother. But in more business communication, we expect from the people, from their reputation. How would I this to describe? Something like that.
Do you mean that from the conversations between the friends, relatives, and so on, you do not expect anything as a result, but from this formal communication, you expect something, like to have certain results? Is it what you mean?
I mean more in a psychological way. You don't nervous when you speak with your closer. You don't expect nothing from, you do expect nothing from them. And when on the different side, then you speak with some partners or with some men who you want to deal with, you some kind of nervous and you don't know what to expect.
Okay, yeah, I think this is really very deep into the psychological aspect. I think, yeah, here is something to think about. Okay, thank you very much, Nikita. So what I wanted to tell you like about the communication, especially business communication, you're all very right from some part, but there is really cool thing that's now is pretty trendy in the world of business. This is like lack, and even no lack, we can say that no limits in communication in the company. So especially modern startups, as you know, now we have way more people who start the companies at a very young age. So people at the age, like at your age, at the age of 20, like up to 25, a lot of people start the companies. And if you look at pretty successful business, we are not talking about like top 100 companies, let's say, in every country or in the world. Definitely in this company, these companies are supported by the government, maintained by the government, financing when IPO. So of course, this is completely different level of the companies. But when we are talking about even the big business or upper middle segment of the business, in this business appear a lot of people who were youngsters, so young adults. And without any doubts, we can understand the reason for that. First of all, this is the high-tech development. So fintech and high-tech industries now are growing super fast. If you look at the shares that are growing extremely fast, and actually nowadays most of the investors try to diversify their investments. In most cases, they concentrate, if they want to concentrate on very fast growth of the price for each and every share. In most cases, they look at fintech and high-tech industries. And these are the industries where, in most cases, youngsters work. And as always, like I try to give you different real cases from my life and from lives of my friends. And I have one friend, he works in really cool startup. So briefly what they are doing. So it's like fully IT startup that's connected to transport industry. So what they make software for transport companies that are like buses that go from one city to another, buses that go from one country to another. I think you've seen this like huge buses like Echo Lines, like this yellow big buses in Kiev and so on and so forth, that like huge, and they go from one place to another, this couches, not even the buses. And so they are making software for them. Maybe you've heard, if you travel from time to time by this couches between the cities, you could see if you write the word like buy a ticket, let's say from Kiev to, I don't know, Chernigiv, Chernovtsi, I don't know, any cities, you have like couple of websites that are built extremely well. So they look like really cool. It's not just like you write the name of the destination and like the name of the city, that's your destination, and you get just one ticket, and even like it's impossible to pay. So in most cases, they look good. So this is actually what my friend's company makes, and like some of their competitors. So, but not about that. So their team consists of the people, especially I'm talking about developers. You know that they're I'm not very into the topic of IT. I understand some parts from the friends, but not much. So maybe some of you know way more than I do in this industry. But what I understood, that they have like backend developers, front-end developers, and some other like assistant positions. They have this like CTO, and in total, so the number of employees can be like super significant. But the most interesting is that the average age of these employees. So it's like the average age is like 25, from 25 to 30 years. So this is like the range. And we understand that this formality in communication, when you are like 25, 26, 27, in most cases, you do not care about that as much as you do when you are older, 100%. Because just take an example of companies, let's say that were growing fast, let's say 40, 30 years ago, like even talking to your like grandparents, it can show you that they had this pretty easy career ladder. I mean, structure of this career ladder, this hierarchy, so that 5 years you work on one position. So in so-called like junior position as an engineer, like any professions can be taken into consideration here. Yep. So in any factories, in any ministries, anywhere. So then like 5 years or 10 years you work in the middle segment of this like management or the department. Then you go to the top, and only like after like 20, 30 years you could become like the person in the head of the department, or like if you're super lucky to become the head of the company. So in most cases, the people who were in charge of others, they were way older than the people who worked on them. So the difference between their ages could be like 20, 30 years even. And of course, in this case, this formality appeared and people expected at work their colleagues, their employees to speak like formally and talk formally to them. Now the situation is completely different. So almost all the companies, we are not talking about government in this case, so all these ministries, all this public, I don't know, hospitals, public businesses. In that case, there is the hierarchy that didn't change at all in most cases, and still there is big distance between, big scope between the people in the company, in the enterprise. But when we are talking about young companies, and now we have more and more companies like these, 100% this distance between employee and employer, it just disappears. So about like this, my friend's company. So he said very funny thing that they had an interview as they started growing in like about a year ago, I think. And they invited some of their like their friends who also connected to IT, who are good developers, and like I think 9 out of 10 people, they were like youngsters, so young adults. Let's call it this way, young adults. So from 20 to 30 maximum. They came, so there was like good connection between the HR and these potential employees, like very good connection. They went through like this interview process, the process of this internship. They went pretty easily, having fun, and everything was fine. And there was one guy, he, if I'm not mistaken, he was around 50, but he is super good professional, as I understood, in the industry of this development. I mean, if I'm not mistaken, they were talking about backend development. So they wanted to hire a backend developer to the company, and he came. He wasn't like friendly at all. So he was very closed. He wasn't like this, as we said about the connection between employer and employee, like talking formally. He was super formal. And then the end of their interview, he said just one phrase. So he said like, when you start working, call me, I will do the work. Until that point, you're just entertaining yourself and employees. So, and then like my friend and the HR who was sitting next to him, he was in shock because the people like was this very big gap in the age in the company. In most cases, they do not understand like the processes as good as people similar age understand. So for that particular person, what they were doing, it was like entertainment. So they were like entertaining. So this informal ways of speaking and informal ways of like conducting interviews without very formal questions, giving different Olympiads mass tasks to solve instead of giving just the task from work to solve. I think you've heard about that. A lot of people who try to work in the companies like Google, Microsoft, in most cases, they get tasks to solve not connected to their work, like not 100% connected to the work. From time to time, they get questions from Olympiads, mass Olympiads for like high school or college or first years of the university. And actually this company, they do the same. They give just the task from, let's say, high school Olympiad, like the Kiev level, let's say, like the city level. And he didn't like it at all. So he said like the phrase that I told you. And that's why the difference in the communication is super significant, even if we are talking about the gap in the ages of the employees. All other points with goals and the distance, I fully agree. The main idea is that even when you are friends with your colleagues, in most cases, like your topics to discuss, they are still connected to work. If you want or you don't, after one of you like get fired or decide to change the place of work, you will not have as good connection in 99%, of course, of accuracy. You will not have so good connection as you had when you worked in one office. So this is life, this is experience, and usually this is a big connector. So it's like a linker. So this working place. So we have like about 6 minutes, and like to prove that this is true, I want to give you one story that happened to me yesterday. I was at my wife's working place. She works as a chef confectioner. So, and they like cafe, they have like different departments, like bar department. So they have like chef barman, I think that's how we call chef barista. They have like the kitchen department and confectionery department where she works. And there is a guy, I met him yesterday. He's the chef in the kitchen. And I was listening like what they were talking about. Like, of course, I was participating as well. But I realized that like this like kind of like friendship is built on the relationship inside the company. So the topics you're discussing, the goals that you're setting, they're all connected to the working environment. And this is very cool because you understand that it's like easier for you to get on well with someone if you work together in one office or in one department, or like in departments near but still in one building and see each other almost every day. So why I decided to tell you that? I decided to tell you that everything that we will be talking about, this formal and informal ways of communication, so it can be applied differently to different companies. So, and that's actually the reason why I decided to give you like short task for this, the break that you will have now. I think we'll have a break like 10 minutes maximum. I want you to think about the company where it can be super formal way of communication between employees and try to find the reasons why. So, and it will be, for example, for 3 people. I want to raise hands who want to take super formal. Okay, Sophia, Nikita, I understand you too, right? For formal, okay, I need one more person who will prepare like short speech about relationships and the company that is super formal. One more person.
I also want to ask you a question.
Oh, of course, yeah, Nikita.
Dean's office didn't send you the Zoom, исправленный Zoom, который, грубо говоря, бесконечно, то есть мы каждый раз будем переключаться.
Yeah, we will be reconnected. Like last year we had, I mean, pre-last semester, we had the chance like to buy this premium Zoom account. That time they didn't tell me anything about that. So as I understand, maybe because they don't know when we finish this like pandemic period and we study online, maybe because of that. So yeah, sorry for that. I will be just sending you the link.
So say 6 hours to lessons, we will reconnect.
Yeah, we'll be just resending this. Yeah.
Перспектива прекрасна. No.
Yeah.
Can you please again describe the task more?
So you take the industry. You don't necessarily need to take the name of the company, so the real company. You take the industry. For example, I don't know, military industry. You say that they use more formal way of communication. And then you describe like what are the potential reasons. So kind of like key points. So this is the first reason, this is the second reason, this is the third reason, and your personal opinion about that. And I really want you to analyze and think like, is it possible, for example, in this like military industry, for example, to change type of communication, and will it affect the final goals in
or
the
yes.
Yeah, or vice versa, like positive effect or negative effect. Yeah. Anna, yeah, a question, or you want to be the volunteer?
Yeah, third one.
Volunteer. Okay, so for formal companies, for formal industry, we agreed. So, and I need 3 people for informal industry. So informal way of communication for some of the industries. By the way, I gave you even 2, like fintech, high tech. So, and one more that you can pick on your own. Any volunteers for informal communication? Guys, please, I want you to participate. Remember about my weak ligaments. I cannot speak so much.
We should look for companies, just.
You can take the company or an industry, because the company will be maybe a little bit hard for you. Just think about the industry.
Okay.
So you take informal, yeah?
Yeah, I take informal.
Okay,
Me too.
informal. Okay, super informal. And one more person?
Yeah, also take informal.
Thank you, Victoria. Thank you. So yeah, take 10 minutes break and see you in 10 minutes. I will send you the link. Yeah, thank you. See you soon.